Elden Ring's main bosses are equipped with highly detailed sets of armors and weapons, many of which can be acquired by players. In today's video, we'll examine their gear from up close, highlighting interesting details about their lore. Let's dive in. Godrick the Grafted wears a lavish cloak, presumably made of silk. The sigil on its back could be interpreted in several ways. It features what appears to be grafted limbs, possibly representing Godrick's own coat of arms. Several pieces of this outfit might have been stolen from Lanedale, such as his secondary cloak and its floral embroideries lined with gold. He also wears a jeweled crown and a golden neck chain, conveying his intent to make himself look regal, despite having been shunned from the capital. In combat, he uses a set of double-headed axes, clearly inspired from Godfrey's armaments. Their blades feature similar engravings, though the larger gold-plated one is much richer in details. It is emblazoned with the figure of a beast, representing the strength of Godfrey, and is also ornamented with rubies and ambers. It's worth pointing out that Godfrey's axe lacks any such jewelry by comparison, subtly conveying Godrick's vain personality. Rennala's blue robes symbolize the highest order of sorcerer in Raya Lucaria. Here, we can see a colorful emblem, likely her personal coat of arms. The lower parts of her robe are shaped in crescents and evoke cosmic imagery, denoting her status as Carrion Royal. Her crown features an interesting design, plausibly inspired from real historical cultures and mythologies. Back in her prime, Rennala wielded a finely crafted scepter, which enhanced her glintstone sorcery. Its spiraling shaft is made of silver and features blue gemstones along its length, culminating in a carved glintstone known as a carrion blue. Even after his consumption by the god-devouring serpent, Rykard still possesses a few distinctive features. Much like his face, remnants of a crown are embedded within the snake, which fits the one he wore in past depictions. Based on its color, it was likely made of gold, or perhaps bronze. Rykard's weapon originally looked like a golden greatsword, an appropriate weapon for his noble position of praetor, back when he still served the Golden Order. As it sat within the serpent's innards, it became glued to writhing corpses of its victims, eventually covering most of its surface. This blasphemous blade draws on their collective blood, granting it life-stealing properties. Rykard wears a set of rings on his fingers, which look suspiciously similar to those of the finger creepers. This connection is one of many subtle hints about his backstory, hinting at his knowledge of the Golden Order's origins. Morgott wears a fairly modest outfit, contrasting with his position as veiled monarch of Leyndell. A thick brown cloak hides some of his omen mutations, which he clearly resents. Unlike the other demigods, he wears neither jewelry nor crown or heraldry, seeing himself as protector of the Erd tree and what's left of his mother's Golden Order, rather than an actual king. His sword is concealed beneath a wooden cane and is fully revealed in his boss intro cutscene. This warped blade has a unique, shifting hue and is partially made of his accursed omen blood. Its guard is made of silver and possibly shaped after a twisted tree trunk, or perhaps a sunflower. The last surviving fire giant doesn't wear much in the way of armor. He wears tightly woven strands of hair as bracelets that are infused with the giant's flame and can be used as fire whips by players. Circular brooches on his hair likely symbolize the fell god's iris. A large metallic ring braces his right ankle, possibly featuring flame symbols. Upon their defeat, the fire giants were likely stripped of offensive weapons. Maybe this explains why this one was left to use a shield in combat. Interestingly, its shape resembles the verdigris discus, found in the ruins of Rau, possibly hinting at a narrative connection. While operating as the beast clergyman, Maliketh wears plain robes, not unlike those of a monk. He wields a large cinquedea dagger, an ancient relic of the beastman clergy, symbolic of the intelligence granted upon their kind. When pressed by the Tarnished, he reveals his true form, empowered by the rune of death. His armor consists of black plates ornamented with gold patterns, which cover most of his body. He also wears a finely decorated cape depicting golden branches and leaves. His weapon is known as the Black Blade, a fragment of the rune of death honed into a colossal sword. Although it loses most of its power after Maliketh's defeat, the version used by players still harbors remnants of its deadly essence. Interestingly, The blade's guard is partially broken, likely as a result of a past duel. The Lord of Blood's robes are made of black cloth and are embroidered with an extravagant gold emblem. Perhaps it represents the Mohg dynasty, possibly inspired from the ancient Ul civilization. The front part of the outfit conveys a sense of nobility, with golden threads and pillar-shaped motifs. His spear serves as an instrument of communion with an outer god, known as the Formless Mother. A mass of humanoid shapes are embedded within the trident, reminiscent of the sacrificed corpses seen in Enir Ilim. This could be a simple coincidence, or maybe a subtle hint of a deeper connection to Miquella's plans. Malenia's outfit is inspired from Valkyries of Norse mythology, often depicted with winged helmets. She wears light armor, with only a thin layer of chainmail in the way of protection, relying instead on her speed and agility in combat. To compensate for her missing limb, she uses a prosthetic arm, a remarkable feat of craftsmanship which supports her combat style. Floral patterns are engraved upon its pauldron, possibly signifying her rank as general of the Haligtree's armies. The symbol on her cloak might be a representation of what the Haligtree was supposed to grow into, a true equivalent of the Erd tree. Malenia's sword is built into her prosthetic arm, and thus lacks a proper guard. Engravings are forged into the blade, possibly resembling a runic alphabet, though their meaning is up to speculation. Rellana wears a set of heavy armor made of lamellar silver plates, nearly covering her entire body. Her helmet features crescent moons, symbolizing her Carian lineage. She also wears a blue cloak, lined with faded gold embroideries. In the left hand, she uses a short sword which can be imbued with flames, possibly gifted to her by Messmer. Her main sword, on the other hand, features similar craftsmanship to her sister's regal scepter, with a Carian blue glintstone embedded into its guard. Elaborate patterns are engraved along the blade's length, ending in a scepter-like shape. Midra's robes are torn and tattered, alluding to how long he's been enduring on the verge of frenzy. His brooch features an interesting design, possibly depicting a set of eyes. The sword that pierced him is of hornsent design, used by inquisitors in a unique kind of execution. When drawn from his body, its barbs take a life of their own, curving back into a spiral shape. This might be the weapon's original form, ironically used by the very being it sought to contain. The dagger in Midra's left hand is a fragment of the sword, broken off when he pulled it from his spine during the cutscene. Radahn's gear is one of the most iconic in Elden Ring and is full of details to analyze. The heaviest parts of his armor have a golden tint and heavily feature lion imagery, engraved in Godfrey's honor. His helm bears a set of tusks, likely representing a lion's teeth. It only covers the front half of his face, leaving room for his flowing red hair at the back, proudly displayed in honor of his father, Radagon. His breastplate is clearly inspired from legionaries of ancient Rome, with a very similar design. Its lower straps are decorated with tree symbols, likely depicting the Erd tree. His red cloak bears a stylized red mane sigil, with sword-wielding lions under a tree canopy. The Star Scourge armor features heavier protections compared to its younger years, hinting at Radahn's increased strength and size. His main weapons are his dual swords made of black steel, possibly forged from the same material seen on falling star beasts' bodies. Their guards are decorated with a lion's mane motif, and a gravity crest is engraved upon the blades, allowing them to channel gravity magic. Star Scourge Radahn also uses a colossal bow, large enough to use spears as arrows. As one of the most important characters in Elden Ring lore, Godfrey's gear is particularly interesting to study. His chest plates are engraved with ancient floral patterns and are clearly shaped after Marika's rune. He wears the crown of Leyndell, presumably belonging to king consorts of the Golden Order. The rest of his outfit is mostly made of chainmail, leather and fur pieces, alluding to his original identity, the legendary warrior, Huara Lu. His cloak features a fascinating symbol, which can be interpreted in several ways. It might represent a mix of feathers, flowers and blood, possibly depicting the ancient crucible, the primordial form of the Erd tree. His axe was damaged in a battle fought during the Long March, while he led the Tarnished in exile. It is made of a fairly basic wooden shaft, contrasting with its intricately engraved head. Interestingly, those patterns look somewhat similar to those on the beastman's cleavers. Perhaps the axe was gifted to him along with Sarosh, Lord of Beasts, or maybe he won it in battle. The crumbling remains of Radagon do not wear armor. Marika's tattered dress is folded around his waist, held together by a thin piece of rope. Within his fractured chest lies the Elden Ring, which holds his body together and commands his movements. He wields Marika's stone hammer, originally crafted by the Numen, outside the lands between. It was used to shatter the Elden Ring, and also in an attempt to repair it, a scene depicted in the game's original reveal trailer from 2019. The hammer partially broke upon hitting the Elden Ring, becoming splintered with golden rune fragments. As for the Elden Beast, it wields the sacred relic sword, manifested from the remains of Radagon and Marika. There's a certain irony in them being used as weapons by the same entity which Marika drew power from, the one upon which the Golden Order was founded. In the end, it seems the Elden Ring, or Beast, was the true master all along. If you enjoy my content, remember to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching.